how could underwater algae be responsible for a plane falling out of the sky?
But we don't have the answers to it all.
Well, scientifically possible.
What's not a plane?
Many people have a fear of flying, and this is exactly the reason.
Whatever unexplainable is happening here.
Doesn't mean it's supernatural.
People have a lot of different theories about the Bermuda Triangle.
Not for the people who disappeared.
Thanks to researchers like Philippe, we're finding more and more of the Bermuda Triangle's ship and airplane triangle. The airmen became mysteriously disoriented.
They will probably trouble.
Despite their high-level skills and some
It
of
is
the
a
most
possibility.
technologically advanced aircraft, all 5 planes and all
Are you alright?
14 people were lost.
Okay, just let us know if you need any help with anything.
Okay.
But the tragedy doesn't end there. Coming up, we fly
What I want to know is where are the bodies? I think that's the thing, is that, you know, okay, you find the shipwrecks and you find the plane wrecks, but where are the bodies, you know? I don't know if anyone's ever found any skeletons, so that pretty much leads me to think, you know, what could possibly happen? Do you honestly think they were abducted by aliens? Well, that's one of the theories as to what has happened to these people and why things are going on in the Bermuda Triangle, is that they think that it has something to do with extraterrestrial life. What do you think?
What do I think about it? I don't believe it.
I'm with you on that one. I honestly think there's a scientific explanation for how all of this has been happening. But like I said, what about the bodies? You know, what happened to the bodies? Well, I don't know.
The sharks had a good dinner.
Oh, so Jaws. I think we finally solved the mystery. It's Jaws. Jaws is swimming in the Bermuda Triangle. Wait a minute. Doesn't the film take place like somewhere in Boston or something? Or Massachusetts?
The sharks travel.
You know, now that you mention it, yeah, because the History Channel used to show a program called Monster Quest, and one of the shows that they showed was sharks in clear water, which has actually been proven to be true, that sharks have been able to find their way from the ocean to certain lakes and rivers. I can't remember the scientific explanation as to how it happened, but yeah, it happened. So, sharks can travel, which means that Jaws can travel from Massachusetts to Florida, not swimming in the waters of the Bermuda Triangle. So, there we go. Your grandmother solved the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. It was the sharks. The sharks ate the people. Case closed. Well, we still don't know for sure what has happened. You know, there's still. Well, your grandmother provided the information. A shark. And you know something? That sounds like the most logical explanation of the disappearances of the people that I have heard ever since I heard about this ridiculous nonsense. I can't believe I'm the only person in this room who actually believes in the supernatural, at least in terms of the Bermuda Triangle. There are plenty of supernatural things that I don't believe in. I know, because I've read your book. But seriously, how come you're not a scientist or a teacher or something? Because that answer that you just provided, it was beautiful, it was perfect. I mean, come on, how come you're not a scientist? Women's liberation movement.
I don't believe in that either.
Uh-oh.
Read reviews and find the best local pros at HomeAdvisor.com.
I don't believe a woman should either be in the kitchen and pregnant all the time either.
Well, there's some.
They have rights, so I think they carried it too far.
You know what? You and me are right there on that, where they took it way too far with the women's movement. And that's what I complained about when I watched the Roseanne show when Mom's got it on TV. You know, Roseanne Barr, she takes it way too far. You know, she supposedly promotes, you know, women's liberation on the show and equality towards the sexes, but when you really watch the show, it's actually a show that demonizes men, makes them out to be perverted pigs, and makes women out to be not so understanding individuals.
I believe the man should be the head of the house.
I believe it too. My wife doesn't believe that. I think there are plenty of wives nowadays who believe that they should be. What?
Doesn't the Bible say the man's the head of the house?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Its
that's
potential
right.
just keeps growing.
My girlfriend likes to write. She says the Bible says, husbands will love your wives, and don't say wives will love your husband.
Perhaps. But that doesn't
And she
explain
was
why
joking
airplanes
because I
continue to go missing as well.
she's really a believer. They
What
say
is
she
it
has
that's
to
going
faith
on
of
in the
Abraham.
skies above this
Well, that's
supposedly
good.
deadly stretch of ocean?
Faith that takes you so far, and you go with it, no matter where it takes you.
Hopes to fly in and find out.
I feel that the legends of the Bermuda Triangle have quite a bit of merit to them. And the reason I
You know,
say that
it's
is
gotten
because
so crazy nowadays to
I've
where,
experienced it myself.
you know, there was this one time when I was in college, you know, I was in a mythology class, and, you know, I don't remember what the conversation was, but I remember that one of the students, you know, she said that men don't have an opinion. And that's just ridiculous. I mean, well, then again, you know,
Oh, they got an opinion.
My dad,
and even on the Reba show, you know, Reba McEntire, you know, on the show, there's an episode where Van is required to get his hair cut for his job as a football player, and his wife is against it. And towards the end, you know, one of the things that Cheyenne, you know, the character says is that Van doesn't have an opinion. And that's a, and I know, I agree with you, you know. We both believe in women's liberation, but we believe that how it's been carried out within recent decades has been taken way too far. To where exactly, and basically, you know, basically what women have done nowadays is they just basically turn the tables on the husbands, and, you know, what I'm going to say is, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. That's basically, that phrase plays into part with this, you know, basically two wrongs don't make a right. Basically, what women are doing nowadays is that they're basically turning the tables on the men, and they're basically treating the men the same way that they've been treated by men for centuries.
I guess that's their way of getting even. I don't know.
But we're not supposed to take revenge into our own hands. You know, somewhere in Deuteronomy, the Lord says, vengeance is mine. And James the Elder, in his epistle, named after himself, James, he said that human vengeance doesn't profit anything, but it just, what is it that he says again? Basically, he says that man's revenge is not righteous. I can't remember what it says word for
I
word.
about you girls, because we had a preacher tell me that once. He was talking about two guys telling people stuff about his rating. And he said, will you stand still? You will fight your battles for you.
I've turned my head quickly, and I
He's
get
blessed me
vertigo.
so much, it's
Almost like my
unbelievable.
internal compass is also
What we should recognize is that God is the ground of all being. Just like the Lutheran pastor. Oh wait, no, he wasn't a pastor, he was a theologian. Paul Tillich says that God is the ground of all being. We should always remember that.
It's one thing to be lost in a car where you can
Test his theory. Today, Jordy is taking a flight into the